Good morning, everyone. It is time for Tiger Eye Talk. This is our once a month um, episode of Tiger Eye Talk. We come to you every first Tuesday of every month for Tiger Eye Talk. Today, I have a team member and my guest all in one with Cindy Royer. She has come on as a guest to talk about her business and what she does within her business. And she is also a team member for Tiger Eye Solution. She is a great social media person. She does social media for Tiger Eye Solution and my other business, Relationship Connections Referral Network. And she does an awesome job. So, we do have another team member joining us. Good morning, Tag. Glad you're here. So, I'm Lisa DeToffel of Tiger Eye Solution. This is Tiger Eye Talk, and I do have two team members with me today, Cindy Royer and Terry Gustafson, better known as Tag. And we are going to talk with Cindy, our guest, about her business, which is called Royer Advantage LLC. So, Cindy, tell us a little bit about you and then tell us about your business.
Perfect. Okay. So good morning, everybody. So I started, I am I, goodness, let me start again. I, I live in Southeast Missouri. We have a farm that we raise cattle on. We had three kids. We homeschooled all three kids up to about high school age. And then some of them continued homeschooling. A daughter continued homeschooling. The other two went to different schools, one a public and one private. So we just kind of had our hands in all kinds of education there. But so we did that for several years, and then after our kids got to a certain point in their education, I actually went back to work and I started working at a chiropractic office. And I did that. I was actually a patient. So I worked there for 5 years. And one of our patients there was a lady that, is it okay if I say her name, our trainer? Can we do that? Okay.
Absolutely.
Kathy Guggenauer. And I kind of knew what she did. Well, sort of. I didn't really have a quite clue what she did, but she trains virtual assistants. And so one weekend I started, checking her out. I thought, oh, that's something I can do when I retire. That'd be kind of a fun thing just to have some supplementary income coming in. But then when I did a little weekend, it was like a 5-day training over Memorial Day weekend. And I was just like blown away. And I thought, no, I need to do this now. So I jumped in both feet. So that was, like I said, Memorial Day weekend. By December of that year, so it was 2020, by December 2020, I had quit my job, which was a difficult thing because I actually love the people that I worked for. But I knew that I wanted the freedom and the flexibility to do what I wanted to, and then have the ability to make income too, because of our growing family. So our kids are grown, they're getting married. I wanted to be able to go see my kids, and they moved. They're moving away, and have the freedom to be able to work on our farm when we needed to. Just to have all of that flexibility. And so I jumped in both feet, quit my job, and started my virtual business. So a little scary, I'm not gonna lie. It was a little scary, but it's working out great. So then I kind of have gone through a process with my business. I started out wanting to work with dyslexic individuals because we have a dyslexic daughter, and so I kind of was working in that area, and finding that that was really kind of silly of me. I love dyslexic people. I love helping them, but my heart and my passion is health. And so my life was changed through chiropractic. And I just loved being able to support and help people make massive change in their lives through chiropractic. And so I was like, I really need to help chiropractors and health, and like even functional medicine practitioners, health and wellness industry. And so I shifted my focus this past summer and have been reaching out and helping chiropractic offices. So what I love to do is create social media posts and content for social media to help those offices, engage their patients, educate their patients, and help them learn how to live a healthy lifestyle. So it's really fun for me to be able to create all the graphic images and everything through social media. So that's my heart. I love doing that type of thing. I could also do web design and development too. So that's kind of a little side thing. But my main focus, my heart, is social media creation.
Awesome. That is awesome. Awesome. Tag, do you have a question or two for Miss Cindy?
More or less a comment. I like that you talked about the dyslexia because I personally have it. And so I know the struggles that can be involved with it. So that was awesome that you were interested in that. But social media is something that is very popular right now. And it is awesome that you are. Do you have a platform that you specialize in or prefer?
Yes. So Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. I can do those three platforms, and it kind of depends on what my client needs. I am I'm willing to learn. So if they need a different platform, I'm going to do my best to meet their needs and learn that platform and give them the content with value for them on their own platforms. But I do specialize in Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn.
Awesome. Awesome. Do you currently work with health
Yes.
clients?
Yes. Yes, I have. I create the office that I worked for before. I do their social media for them. So
Awesome.
so that's there is a great love there for that office, and it's in Southeast Missouri. But yes, so I create their social media, and then I also have network marketing clients who are like in the health and wellness industry. So like I have a client that has a doTERRA, and so she sells essential oils, and I help her with her social media content. So that, I kind of have a wide range there, of people that I can help. But yeah, I mean, social media, you basically you need to have your strategy and where you want to go, what you make it work for you. What's your plan? And then we can create all kinds of content to get your message across and engage your followers. And another client that I have is actually a coach for network marketers. So like, my other client that has doTERRA, she coaches those girls, they're typically women, that have those types of businesses. And so like I've helped her with her own Facebook challenge. I've gotten, we've helped her, like she had a 5-day challenge that I go in and I moderate the whole challenge, gather all the information while she's presenting. I'm engaging in the chat with the participants. And then also like I helped her in her own Facebook group. So I go in and I help, I was like their challenge cheerleader in their group. And so I give them the information, especially like techie stuff, any kind of that tech stuff. They're like, some of them, like we were encouraging in the challenge, you need to go live. And they're like, freaked out, scared to death. How do you go live? And so I did a live on the group to show them how to do it and make it easier for them. And then send all kinds of tutorials. If there's more questions, I went on one-on-one with their group members. Like if there was one, like I'm really struggling, I just jumped on a call with them and helped them figure it out.
Let's speak a little bit about the live, since social media is a great place and the different platforms. There's different ways you can go live on the different platforms. I guess what tips or maybe a little bit of advice would you give others that are maybe they've never done it before and they're considering doing it for the first time?
Just do it. Don't worry about coming off like, I'm going to be, look like an idiot. No, people really like it when you're real and you're vulnerable and you show your personality and your heart, and then offer great value. Give them something that is going to help them. And so as far as that goes, just share your heart, just be who you are. And people love that, like it's more because you're talking through a screen, that's pretty impersonal. So you want to show it's okay to make the mistakes. That just shows that, hey, you're real. That's a real person over there.
We all do it.
Yes. So so first, that would be another tip. A second tip was make sure. So like if you look behind me, this is where I do my lives and stuff. It's not real cluttered. I've got a little bit of a back room back there. So a lot of people, you will use just a blank wall. I like a little bit to show a little bit of who I am, but you don't want to have like bookshelves and clutter and like your kitchen counter, that kind of stuff. You want a clean slate behind you so that they can focus on you and not have all the busyness behind you. To do that. And show a little bit of your personality with that, so they kind of get a clue of who you are, again, get a feel for that. Another, which Lisa and I were just talking about this, a good thing is to have good lighting. So you can, I'm going to just show you, I'm going to share, Lisa, what we did a while ago.
The reason we were talking about lighting, let me kind of explain that a little bit. I have a new computer and I've kind of been working with my lighting. So if I look a little different, that is why. This is the first full day or second full day I've used my new computer. And so the lighting on a Zoom call or, on my camera per se is a little bit different than my other computer. So I've been kind of playing around with it. I'm hoping I look decent since we are live here today, but I'm still tweaking it to get it exactly where I want it. Yeah. But yes, lighting is very important.
So one thing that I was sharing with Lisa, so I did a challenge, and I was like, you need to go live for 15 days on your Facebook business page. And I was like, well, I'm starting, when I do things, I just do it. I just jump in and I go. I'm like, well, I got to do this. So I'm like, okay, I got to have good lighting. So I ran to Walmart and I got this. So it is, so I'm blind everybody if I turn it, but there's a ring light, and then it has a place to hold your phone, and then you can clip it. There we go. Clip it so I've got it on my desk. I got it clipped to my desk. You can clip it to your laptop or whatever. And then it has different settings for the lighting. So that gives you, and then you can, the little phone thing, a lot of people will use their phones to create their lives from. And so that holds your phone in a stable position to be able to do that. So your hands free and you can create that live. So that's, have good lighting. Another tip is, I don't think I have my phone right here in front of me, but, turn it, don't have the screen facing you, have the back of the camera facing you and that's a little tricky to do because everything's on the other side to be able to like touch, be able to put in your description and all that kind of stuff. But it gives a cleaner video for you. So,
Tag, what's your comment on going live? Have you done a live yet?
I have done a few live. Since I am doing YouTube training, I will be doing more in the near future because I'm training on YouTube channel management. So yeah, just do it because the more you think about it, the worse it gets.
That's right.
Guys, if you're scared, do it scared. As you do more of those, it gets so much more comfortable. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was scared too the first time I did it, but then I was like, well, this is so fun. Mm-hmm. It really kind of is. As long as
once you get going, you just got to start doing it. Yeah. And then you get better all the time. So
you know your topic, you know what you want to share in and around that specific topic. Just go live and talk about it. I mean, if you're the expert in whatever it is that you do, then it's kind of going to be like second nature for you to talk about that specific topic.
And the fact of the matter is an expert knows a little bit more than the person they're talking to.
Exactly.
So as long as you've done your research on a topic and you know what you're talking about, you are the expert in it. So.
Exactly.
Awesome. Exactly.
So what are your plans going forward into the new year, Cindy, with your business?
I'm so excited. So I'm getting ready to launch a webinar. I'm like, it's going to be, I want to do it in the first quarter. It may be into the second quarter. I'm kind of just working this out, but I'm going to be doing a webinar for chiropractic offices and show them basically, how you can have your social media content created for you and ready to go. And then you don't have to think, that office doesn't have to worry about creating. And then I'm in the group there's a certain network that I work in with a chiropractic network, and it's called Max Living. And I want to be targeting that network because I absolutely, Max Living just changed my whole life as far as that goes. And so my heart is definitely wanting to help them and show them that, hey, I've worked in the industry, in the company. I was a chiropractic assistant. I understand their needs. I understand their frustrations of running that office and a million things you got to do. And the last thing on your mind is social media. So I can, so I understand their heart and I understand their vision and their purpose. And so I can, just take care of all of that for them. And then they know that, hey, this person they get it. She understands, and she can create this content that will align with what they do, and to make the most impact, to change people's lives so that people are healthy and living the life that they are designed to live.
Absolutely, that is amazing. So amazing. And speak a little bit about how, when you first started. I know you spoke that you were going in the direction of working with dyslexic.
Yes.
Actually, all three of us can kind of relate to that. I also have a child that's dyslexic, and so does Cindy. And then Tag shared that she's dyslexic herself. So speak a little bit around that. I don't know if that's something you're still going to continue within your business, or if you've kind of redirected.
The thing of it is people that are dyslexic don't broadcast their dyslexic. So more than likely, you're already working with somebody who is. So that's my heart. So, I love, and I usually can pick out people because of my experience with my daughter. There's certain traits and things, and dyslexic term is so misunderstood. Okay. So a lot of people look at them as that they don't process things, or they process things differently. Okay. And they're very visionary, very forward thinking, and can they have a little bit of trouble communicating, consider it like this. They're on the airplane. They're flying on the airplane and they're taking off and they're going. They know the destination. They know where they want to go. But then the little steps in between to get to, and so mid-flight, they're going through, they hit some turbulence, something gets bumpy, like, oh, they're bailing out the airplane. Okay. Because it's like, those little processes there, the daily tasks or the things to get to one point to the other, those things can be very difficult. And they have a hard time communicating that difficulty in a way that helps people understand so they can get the help that they need. So their superpower, if you want to call it like a superpower, is that they are movers and shakers. They have vision. They can create and get things done and help society with some of the, if you go and you study some inventors, entertainers, in their life, entrepreneurs, they are dyslexic. Okay. So and that's because they have such a huge vision, and they can, and then too, once they see a vision, they see the problem, they know how to solve it, and then they can get everybody on board to help them solve it. Okay. So, but it's those little steps in between. So like, for instance, like with my daughter, she's actually an author. Okay. So when you think dyslexic, you wouldn't think she'd be an author, like writing and everything. No.
So writing and reading is usually something they have a little bit of trouble with.
And well, You know what? Dyslexia is so varied. There is more than just, it's more than just, if there's dysgraphia, there's dyscalculia. I mean, there's like a slew of different types of dyslexia.
True.
Yeah. And so, yeah. So, but I lost my train of thought there. But so wherever they're, what it is that they struggle, the thing is like, well, definitely low self-esteem is huge within the dyslexia community, because depending on their experience of how they went to school, what their schooling was like, what, if they had support, or not, because they can be seen as stupid. I hate to use that term, but people, you can't do this, well, no, it's not that they can't. It's just that it takes their brain so much more time to process. My daughter compares it to like this. She's like, you go from point A to point B in your brain to say, like, whatever the process is. She goes, I go from point A, Z, T, all over, and then I finally get there. And it just takes so much more energy. But along that pathway, they are seeing all the possibilities that can happen from here, from there to there. And that was what makes them so visionary and so great, is they see all these possibilities. And then they're like, okay, and then like they have this plan of what they're going to do to get, then when they finally get to the point they want to be at. And then they have, it's just processing all that information. So like everything.
Do you want to make a comment on this? I know you're dyslexic yourself and can probably share from experience.
Well, actually, the conversation you and I were having the other day, Lisa, it's like we were talking about relationship connections and where we should go with it and how to get there. And I'm like, well, no, this is where we need to go.
Yes.
I don't know how to get there. Don't ask me to plan it out. Just this is where we should go.
Where we're going. Exactly.
And that's why
the big vision, is very much more the way I see things. I can see the destination and I'm good, but getting there, it's like, yeah. I get sidetracked quite easily because there's these other things that, well, this could be good too. Let's look at this, then look at that. And so, yeah, what you were explaining is perfectly it, because I can see the destination, but getting there is a little more difficult.
Yeah. And can I just share a little something that might help people with dyslexia? I actually found a podcast. It's called The Truth About Dyslexia. And they have the guy's name is Steve, and it's out of Australia. Right now, his last name escapes me. But it is an amazing podcast. It shares, people that are dyslexic, things that they can do to help cope in their lifestyle, things that help them manage their dyslexia. And then also they have things for people that love people with dyslexia. And so there's things that to help you become aware, because there's just like so our son-in-law is also dyslexic. Okay. And so he has no concept of time. Like time is, vague in the least. And so you can say, hey, we're going to do, such and such, and his world, time just goes, it's just out there. And so like what it would take, like, so it was so cute. The other day, our kids have an apartment, but they don't have a washer and dryer. And so they come to mom and dad's house to do laundry, okay, on the weekends. And so what my daughter's, she's washing like, I don't know, 4 or 5 loads of laundry. And he comes, and our son-in-law comes and he's like, okay, let's go. She goes like, no, we got like 3 more loads to go. Like, no, he's like, oh, well, you haven't, it's why isn't it done yet? like no, so there's those things that he gets so in his own little head, his own, which is great. But that there's just those things that we take for granted, people that are non-dyslexic, that that it can be frustrating, especially if you're in a relationship with somebody, with each other. Like, so this podcast then teaches you those little things of how to work through, living with someone that is dyslexic, and then not making them feel worse for what, because just because they're different doesn't mean that they don't understand, that they don't care, that they're, not trying to be difficult, just like with us. But, like if we step in their shoes, they're like, well, why do they do it like that? Like it's just a different point of view. And then learning how to balance that with each other. And it helps so much in your business because, like I said, so many times you're working with dyslexic people and they're not telling you that. And so that, you can, learn to just try to step back, look at everything and help people get where they need to be.
That's awesome. So awesome. Anything else you want to add, Tag? I know we're speaking kind of in and around you and your world.
I just think it's great because, when I found out I had dyslexia, it was, 35 years ago, 40 years ago. And back then it wasn't heard of. I mean, it just wasn't. And I didn't know that what I was seeing was not what everybody else seen. Because it's like, when I read, it's like words will be different than are actually on the page, and I'll read it and it'll not make any sense whatsoever. So I'll go back and read it again. And I just thought everybody else was quicker at processing that, And so when it came to learning, I still got fairly decent grades because I got more visually and auditory than most. It's like in high school, I never opened a book and I still got like C's on a regular basis. It's like if I would have had that other element, I'm sure it would have been better. But everybody processes things differently, which is what makes the world go round. And some of the greatest inventions we've had over time were because somebody with dyslexia seen it, and could find a way to get there. But I think it's amazing that people can talk about it and bring it to light, because I didn't know that wasn't what everybody else seen until like the Bill Cosby show. Theo had dyslexia and was explaining what he seen, and I'm like, you mean not everybody sees that? I didn't realize it, and so I did more research on it, and I found out that that's probably what I had, and I've never been formally tested for it. And I know like it affects some of my reading, but it also affects like musical notes. I can't understand in any way, shape, or form, which is probably why my choir teacher told me to take up typing. But, it's just a different way of looking at things. And I think it's awesome that people can talk about it. And I'm definitely going to check out that podcast. I wrote it down.
Good. It's really great.
Awesome. That is so awesome. Well, I want to thank both of you for joining us today. This was great to talk about your business and what you do, Cindy. And I can kind of testify to what Cindy does. She does social media for Tiger Eye Solution and for Relationship Connections Referral Network, and she's outstanding.
Thank you.
So I would highly recommend her if you are looking for social media help. You can contact her directly, or you can contact me. Like I said, she is one of the team members for Tiger Eye Solution as well. And we can get you all set up to work with Cindy and get all your social media done. Again, thank you both for being here today. And this is Lisa DeTavel from Tiger Eye Solution, and we will see you again next month on the next Tiger Eye Talk. Have a good day.
Thanks, Lisa. Bye.